having opened at 7-4. They go 3-1 Nahar, who ran very well here last time. Different ground though. 7-2 Kilcash, a bit of support for that, and for Lustrino into 5-1 from sixes. 8-1 Groundnut, 14-1 Rich Life. Must just tell you that Danforth can't claim the full 5 there, down to 9 stone 9. Rich Life will carry 9 stone 12, and 33-1 Here He Comes. And Destiny Calls continues on the drift, and fairly rapidly too. 5-2 Destiny Calls, and as you see, Lustrino, one of those, being backed into 9-2 now. So an uneasy favourite here, Destiny Calls, despite the featherweight. 5-2.
It's a very uneasy favourite indeed at the moment, Destiny Calls. There you are, right in the centre of your shot at present. Trained by Nick Gaisley, winner of 2 races last season, runner-up on 3 occasions so far this. And let's take a look at Destiny Calls, winning, well, everywhere but the line at Newbury.
Coming now towards the last, and it's Destiny Calls. Eurolink, the lad, comes through to take second. Smuggler's Point takes it in third. The Camry running on to take 4 in front of Nahar. On the way towards the line now, and Eurolink, the lad, is in front, but Destiny Calls fights back on the far side, and Destiny Calls gets his head in front again, up towards the line. Destiny Calls on the far side, Eurolink on the stand side, up towards the line. It's very, very close this. Destiny Calls, Eurolink, the lad, Smuggler's Point, Feelings back in third, and the Camry.
Well, you can imagine what Nick Gaisley would have felt watching that race, because Destiny Calls looked to have the race absolutely in the bag. And Charlie, it's probably fair to say if he'd jumped the last, he would have done.
Yes, he fell for the last, didn't he? Landed on his hind legs for his front legs, and that's always a bad sign, because it means they don't land with any momentum. Watching that shot, I must admit, I thought he won, but obviously he didn't.
Certainly looked like it, didn't it, from there?
It did.
Run quite usefully again since then. 7th of 13 to Thinking Twice at Aintree. It was a pretty decent race, and Destiny Calls ran quite well on that occasion. Now then, Charlie, you've broken your duck. What's your idea of the winner of this one?
Well, I'm glad to say Ian has got him at a big price, but I think Groundnut could have a tremendous chance here. And the reason is, if you look on the 9th of March at Wincanton, Groundnut finished 3rd to a horse called Jures, who has won since. But more importantly, Namuro finished 2nd, getting lumps of weight off Groundnut, and he has since won the Welsh Champion hurdle very, very impressively. And so I think he's great value at 8-1. I think he could just perhaps cause a surprise.
There he is on the far side of the 2 horses there, Groundnut. Would you think there was enough give in the ground for him? Would he want a bit of give?
Well, they never have a great deal of give in the ground at Wincanton these days. They've drained it so much. And he ran well there. I don't think that should be a problem. It's a pity we can't really see him. But the jockey and the trainer have already had a winner tonight, so Bob Buckler's horse is obviously in good form. Brendan is a tremendous jockey. He's a real trier. He's been riding a lot of winners for a long time. And
let's begin to turn in. They're all out behind the barrier.
They're under starters' orders. They're off.
And away they go with 2 miles, 2 miles and half a furlong in front of them. And the first one to go on is Nahar from Lustrino. In now to the first of the 8 flights in this handicap hurdle. Nahar quickens into it and gets over it very fast. Lustrino is a clear second, a gap of 3 or 4 after this to Rich Life, who's 3rd, just ahead of Destiny Calls on the inside, disputing 4 as they jump the 2nd flight. Kilcash is the other one disputing 4th place, and then behind these Groundnut and Here He Comes. Up now past the enclosures, a complete circuit of the track to cover, and 6 flights remain. Nahar's the leader by some 4 lengths. Lustrino's 2nd. There's a gap of a good 9 or 10 lengths behind these to Destiny Calls and Rich Life. Close behind these comes Kilcash. Groundnut's last of all, with Here He Comes in front of him. But as they round the turn and race under the 1.5-mile gate, it's Nahar setting a pretty good strong gallop here, about 4 lengths in front of Lustrino. There's a much bigger gap after this to Destiny Calls and Rich Life as they straighten up to go down towards Swindley Bottom. The last 3 are Kilcash, Here He Comes, and Groundnut. Nahar now only a half length in front of Lustrino in 2nd, and the others have closed up behind. Rich Life disputes 3rd with Destiny Calls on the inner, and the faller there, Kilcash. Kilcash just missed the top of the flight and slipped over on landing, but the rider safely on his feet, the horse not yet. So they go on down now towards flight number 4, and at this stage it's Lustrino on the outside, who's marginally ahead now of Nahar. Lustrino on the outside of Nahar, then comes Here He Comes, and Rich Life disputing 3rd. Destiny Calls comes next, and then Groundnut. Now they race down towards the turn at Swindley Bottom. They're approaching the halfway point. Nahar's on the inside, Lustrino on the outer, stride for stride, the pair of them. A gap of about 4 lengths after this to Rich Life and Groundnut on the inside rails. On the outside of those, Destiny Calls. And here he comes, is last of all. But there's no let up in the pace as they round the turn at Swindley Bottom, past halfway now and back towards home. 4 flights remain. Nahar on the inside, Lustrino on the outer. A gap of only a length now to Destiny Calls, who's marginally ahead of Rich Life, these two third and fourth, and then Groundnut, and these have begun to go clear of Here He Comes, who's beginning to lose touch. So up now to this next flight of hurdles. It's the fourth last, Lustrino and Nahar. Close behind them, Destiny Calls is only a length and a half off them. These three have drawn about 6 lengths clear of Groundnut and Rich Life, and Here He Comes is now trailing as they come up now to the flight before the turn into the straight. Lustrino with Destiny Calls now the challenger. Nahar's gone about 3 lengths back in third as they jump that third last, and then there's a gap of 5 to Rich Life, followed by Groundnut. A long run round this turn now with just 2 flights remaining, and as they start to turn in, Lustrino has fought off at this stage the challenge of Destiny Calls. He's gone 2 lengths clear. Lustrino showing no sign of letting up as he turns in. Lustrino it is from Destiny Calls as they turn in now, and Nahar's got a second wind and he's coming back to challenge for second. Rich Life is behind these but has got something to do as they come now to the second last. Lustrino, Destiny Calls on the stand side. Nahar making a renewed challenge on the far side, but he didn't jump the flight very well. The faller there, Destiny Calls. Lustrino left in the lead then. Nahar on the far side. These two a long, long way clear of Rich Life. Over the last safely, Lustrino. Nahar will try to challenge on the far side, but Lustrino's got at least 3 lengths advantage as they go for the line now. It's Lustrino being driven out. He's got this one in safekeeping. Lustrino it is. Nahar will pass the post in second. So many lengths behind. Rich Life is in third, and then comes a Groundnut, the only other one to finish.